Welcome back, guys. Another episode of Talking Tridents. We got our Tridents out after a series win against the Twins. A much needed win after four straight games in a row going to extra innings. Ridiculous. Um, yeah, a lot to unpack after that series, obviously highlighted by Cole Young's appearance, but we still got some other talking points to talk about. Let's get into it.
Yeah, obviously, great way to end this series against the Twins. It was really rough to see them lose the series against the Nationals. I'm glad that they were able to turn it around after the Twins really put up a strong battle. I mean, all three
Yeah.
games in the ninth inning, the Twins ended up tying or getting the lead, and that's something we don't see very often. Munoz gave up his first earned runs. He blew multiple saves this series, so there was a lot
Yeah.
of adversity, and the guys still overcame and won two out of the three.
Yeah, yeah. Look, the Twins and Mariners are pretty evenly matched, I would say,
I agree.
this year. I mean, obviously, the records are almost identical. So, yeah, just luckily last night with Cole Young's debut, and he walked it off.
Hmm.
We'll throw up a video of that here, and some clips of Cole Young's debut. But luckily, they were able to pick it up last night, and then tonight, Randy Rosarena came through in the ninth, and they were able to walk it off. So Cal
Did you
continues.
see that on Thursday night at the Rainiers, Cole Young's last full game at the Rainiers, he walked it off in similar fashion. He hit
I
a
did, yeah,
dribbler to the first baseman, and the guy at third scored. It was Samad Taylor on the Rainiers, and then
yeah,
obviously last night was Miles Mastroboni. But
yeah,
that's kind of crazy that 3 days apart in two separate um, leagues to make that happen. So
yeah, yeah. Funny to see, but it was meant to be, I guess.
it was.
Yeah. He didn't look so. He looked good yesterday in his debut.
Yeah.
Tonight, not so good, but that's all right.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
hyped about the
early on.
move. Um, we still got the win. Cal Raleigh continues to rake. It's
He
crazy.
has the league leading, actually not even league, MLB leading home runs right now with 23. He's leading Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. So right there,
Yeah,
that puts him in some pretty high pedigree right there. So he just keeps mashing the ball. Four more home runs this series against the Twins.
yeah, yeah. We basically have Aaron Judge at catcher
Hmm.
this year. So
With platinum glove defense. I mean that's
yeah,
pretty special. If he can continue this for years to come, I mean the sky's the limit for this guy.
yeah, for sure.
Really quick, Cal Raleigh, we were mentioning that he's 23 home runs now, and we're only 58 games into the season.
Hmm.
Where do you think he ends the year home run wise? I mean, we're looking at a guy
Man,
who, I mean, just a few episodes, or our last episode, we projected that he's could get to like 51 home runs, and then he went out and hit four more home runs in 6 games. I mean, I
yeah.
could. What's his projection at now? Let's take a quick look.
I
I
mean, if
think
he
he's
continues on this trajectory, I mean, he's over 60, so
with right now he's on pace for 64.
that's crazy.
64. He went from 51 to 64 in the course of 6 games projected for the
Damn.
year. Not
Well, that's what
projected, but
happens when you hit
if he
four home runs
continues.
in a
Yeah.
series. So, yeah.
I mean, do you think
I,
64? I mean, what would we do with that? I don't. I think I would lose my mind. I think I would actually just have to like combust. I mean, I don't know what else would happen. I mean, I just blow up.
I hate to say that I can't see that happening. That doesn't seem realistic, but also I wouldn't, earlier in the season, I would have said he wouldn't have continued hitting home runs at this pace, and he still has. So,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we never thought he'd be at 23 home runs before one game into
at,
June.
yeah, at the start of
Yeah.
June 1st. Yeah.
So
So,
I mean, who knows? I think the sky's the limit for this guy. I mean, he clearly has the power. He has been hitting the ball not even just for home runs, but doubles, singles.
hmm
I mean, man, if we could see a 60 home run season on a Mariners jersey, that's going to be something special that we haven't seen for quite some time. I mean, I'm thinking back to like A-Rod or Ken Griffey Jr. are probably two of the last guys to do it. Not even Nelson
yeah,
Cruz had a 60 home run season.
yeah. I think it's the torpedo bat. I don't know.
It has to be.
I think
If you
he's
look at
locked.
his stats after April 4th April 11th when he took the torpedo bat, I mean,
Yeah.
it's been just every other game it seems since then. So
Yep, he's locked in, and I don't see him stopping anytime soon. We got the Orioles coming in on Tuesday, so it's a scary team to face. I still feel, even though they're uh, immensely underperformed
Mm-hmm.
as to what a lot of people would think. But that offense is still very talented. So still a scary series to go into. But I'm hoping, that the Mariners can capitalize on the Orioles' struggles this year, and we can hopefully get another series win. So
Correct me if I'm wrong, but do they have like the third worst record right now in MLB? I want to say it's the Rockies
there,
at the worst. They're like 9-50 now, which is
yeah,
a whole
that's
nother story. And then I
yeah,
think it's the
that's
White
actually
Sox
pathetic. How do
and
you?
then the Orioles.
Yeah, White Sox and Orioles. I think Orioles only. I think they're like. I pull up their record.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see. Let's see. Baltimore Orioles are 22-36 right now. They're what's that?
God.
14 games below 500. I mean, the Marlins are 23-34. The White Sox only have 18 wins, and then obviously the Rockies with 9, which is
Yeah.
it doesn't seem real, but it is. It's right there on my screen. So yeah, so a team that's definitely been slumping. I mean, they've been struggling mightily. I hope we can catch them on the right time, and if we're
Yeah.
able to put together a series win or even sweep them, man, that'd be something special to see. Keep it rolling against the Orioles. Why not, right?
Yeah, that'd be huge to pull us back into first place in the division. But knowing the Mariners' luck, we're gonna struggle,
Mm-hmm.
and
We
somehow
always struggle against those teams we shouldn't, right?
yeah,
Seems
and
like
then
every series.
their offense is gonna wake up, and Gunner, Adley, everyone's gonna go off. So
Yeah, I
we'll
hope
see.
not.
I hope not, but um, yeah, should be a good series this week ahead.
I want to talk really quick about Julio's impact. Specifically, this will come back to this the game that just ended a little bit ago with us walking off the Twins with Randy Arozarena single. Um,
Hmm.
Julio's numbers are obviously not where Mariners fans would like them to be. He's batting in the 240s. He only has 10 home runs this year so far. His OPS is definitely like far under 800. We gave him a superstar contract and we expect superstar numbers. I think some of the things that aren't necessarily seen in the stats are the things that he's most valuable for. We saw 2 days ago in the top of the 10th, Julio gunned out a guy at home plate with a dime. I mean, he threw that ball 97 miles an hour.
That was
That was just
yesterday's. That was
yeah, that
yesterday's
was
game, right?
right to Garver's chest and tagging the
Yeah.
guy out. That was
Yeah, that
amazing,
was.
right?
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, I was at the game, and man, the energy was crazy all game long because of Cole Young's
Yeah,
debut. But when Julio laser beamed it from center field, that was crazy.
but
So you're right. Yeah.
he makes plays like that. He obviously covers the outfield well. He made him a nice sliding catch today. He's made numerous catches at the wall this year and everything like that. I think
Yeah.
one of his other biggest assets is his base stealing abilities and overall his like just being able to make them miss. I mean, today he stole second, passed the ball
Hmm.
to get the third. If that play didn't happen, Randy Arozarena is not winning that game with that hit that he had.
Right. That only got through the infield because the infield was in because Julio
Yeah.
was at third.
If
So
if Julio didn't steal, if he didn't get to third on the pass ball, if he was still at first base, that's a double play ball and we're going into extras.
yep, exactly. Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
Julio's impact is not just seen in on his offensive stat lines. Still like to see it go up. I'm sure as most Mariners fans would.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him hitting the 260s, 270s. Ideally, over 300 is what he should be hitting.
Hmm.
We take what we can get. But I just want to let Mariners fans know that he's still a 5+ WAR player. He's still the guy that we need him to be. The offense will come around as it always does every year. He
Yeah.
has more impact than just with a bat.
Oh, I agree 100%. This is one of the topics that I love Julio. He's my favorite player, and a lot of Mariners fans recently, especially, have been hitting on him, saying he's a bust, he sucks, all kinds of stuff. It frustrates me because you're right. There is a lot that he does that's seen
Hmm.
outside of just his batting stats, right? And stats alone. So yeah, and um, yeah, so it's a good take.
I I think this is why Cal Raleigh and Julio being your 1-2 punch is kind of best case scenario for the Mariners. If you look at Cal Raleigh's last 3 years, I mean, he was hitting home runs. He was known for his power, but he wasn't hitting for average. But his defense gave him so much value. Of course, this year his offense is taking that next step forward, just as Julio's offense is going to continue to take steps forward as he gets older and has more years under his belt. Cal
Hmm.
Raleigh's now finally getting league recognition as a top 3 catcher, if not a top 1 catcher. So just
Yeah.
imagine when Julio puts together a string like that, where he's batting 300 plus, where he's hitting 40 bombs in a year, plus 40 stolen bases. That's going to put him back to the pedigree that Mariners fans expect. It will come around. It's just offense is such a big number in the league, as we've seen, and that's why Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are always mentioned on MLB Network or on the MLB Instagram page or whatnot. But a player can have just as much impact and not put up these offensive numbers that you see all over the place.
Yeah, I agree. Julio's hitting always comes around every year, and we've seen it already. He's already hitting a lot better, and his numbers have gotten a lot better since
Mm-hmm.
the start of the season when it was. Yeah, I'll say at that point that was really tough to see and frustrating, but
Yeah.
now he's hitting better. It always comes around. He's doing things outside of just hitting that
Mm-hmm.
are that's contributing immensely to this team. Defensively, base running, just his
Mm-hmm.
presence alone. I mean, yeah. So
I
I
mean,
yeah
even just like you said, his energy alone brings so much value. You can't see that
yeah
in any stat line. There's no stat line for energy unless you're looking at the fan noise meter on the big screen. But
yeah
like energy is everything, and Julio definitely brings that on a day to day basis, especially when he makes a big play or gets that clutch hit. So,
right
um, just as Mariners fans, we need to remember he's a young player. He's turning 25 this year. He's in his 4th year. He's had success at the big league level. Julio's fine. We'd love to
yeah.
see more numbers, but Julio's fine.
I agree. Yeah, Julio is fine, and come later in the season, even midway in the season, I guarantee his numbers will be better. And come the end of the season, he's gonna finish with a another solid year at
Yeah.
like minimum.
I
So
think we can expect an OPS, I would say 825 and up, which is league like definitely above league average. He should be hitting better than that, but if we can get to that even after a slow start, which technically this is his fastest start to a season he's had, we'll
yeah,
take that. So
I agree. I mean it's expected, and I would like to see him have a consistent year or more
mhm.
consistent full season rather than really slow and then really hot and then off and on and then even out at the end to where because his numbers at the end of every season are still
Mhm.
great. So I agree with that, but I hate a lot of Mariners fans that are like, oh, Julio's bust and all this
Mhm.
stuff. So I mean, he's
24 years old.
he's still
He's
the best
24
center
years old.
fielder in the
Yeah,
league. I mean, who else would you rather have like at center field? Be honest. So
I agree. This was an exciting week for Mariners fans, though. We covered it yesterday, and we talked a little bit about it earlier today. Cole Young made his major league debut, played solid, and he's going to see a lot of playing time at second base. Um,
yeah, so I wanted to ask you. So now that Cole Young is up, yeah, I'm super happy. I think this was the right move. I mean, I was a little skeptical about, I was saying I think keep him down longer, but after seeing him up now, even though it's only been 2 games, he looks comfortable. I like seeing him out there. I think it was a great move. So, what do you think this looks like going forward? Um, what is Dylan Moore's role now?
yeah, I
Utility? Is he
mean,
back to utility? Because he didn't play. He came in late yesterday, but he didn't start yesterday or today.
yeah,
So
I definitely see him as a more utility guy, giving breaks to those who need it. Ben
yeah,
Williamson has been playing third base almost every single day since he came up. He probably needs a
right.
day off. J.P. Crawford definitely deserves a day off a week.
Yeah.
Maybe every 2 weeks or something like that. And then also Leody Taveras is kind of streaky. He's struggling right now. We
Hmm.
can see Dylan Moore out in right field a lot too. Um, and then lastly, in another world where Donovan Solano's not on your roster, you have Dylan Moore playing first base from time to time too. So I think he's going to go back to more of his traditional role as a utility player. That's where he's excelled. That's where he won a Gold Glove. That's where he has shown his value. I think that's the role he needs to be back in. Mariners were looking for that constant second baseman ever since they said Polo was going to move to third base, which we
Hmm.
saw how that worked out. Cole Young, I think, is going to be a constant at second base unless he loses the spot for himself. If he
Yeah.
plays even as good as Ben Williamson's playing right now, batting 250, home run here, home run there, putting up some good at bats, playing good defense. He's going to stick around the rest of the year. There's no reason not to let him stay. To your point, I think Dylan Moore is going to return back to that traditional role that he is extremely valuable at, and I'm very excited to see him back in that role and contribute just as he has in the last years.
Yeah. The only thing is Dylan Moore has had a solid year so far this year, arguably one of our better offensive bats this
For
year.
sure.
And I love seeing Cole Young. I still would take Cole Young at second base, and I hope that continues to be what they do. But I'm also a little concerned that Dylan Moore may not get as many play appearances as I think he should,
Yeah,
um,
no, that's a good
because
point.
there's a lot of guys that are not hitting. I mean, and Dylan, so that's the only, yeah, that's the only thing that kind of is frustrating. I'm not saying Dylan Moore obviously isn't like the answer of the future or anything like that, but like as of right now, I think Dylan Moore is a good option for like I don't know. I think we just need to find a way to get him more at bats, and I think with Cole Young at second, there may be a
Mm,
concerning uh, yeah time for Dylan Moore that he may not get
yeah.
the plate appearances that he deserves.
And I'm curious to see what Dan Wilson and the Mariners are going to do moving forward because, like you said, Dylan Moore has had a great year. I mean, he's hitting well, he's hitting with power, playing good defense. He deserves to be in the lineup, at least a few days a week. Definitely at least 1 to 2 games a series.
I would
So,
argue that he deserves to be in the lineup almost every day,
yeah.
honestly. I mean,
And
the
with
way
his
he's
with his
hitting,
lefties or his righty to righty splits, I don't think he'll play against most righties, and that's why we didn't see him against the Twins. We saw 3 righties.
yeah,
Um, But no, you're right. I mean, if there's a lefty going in, there's no reason that he shouldn't start over maybe even Cole Young because Cole Young is a young hitter and going left down lefty might be a challenge. Or
right.
even J.P. Crawford. J.P. Crawford hits lefties fine, but maybe
Hmm.
that's an opportunity to give him a day off. I think we're gonna see Dylan Moore a lot. I think this series was a lot about Cole Young, his debut, and giving him that kind of respect. We haven't had a top prospect like that come up since Julio in 2022. So.
Yeah.
I think it's exciting to see Cole
Well,
Young here, and I think that will wear down as everything does. And I
hmm.
think we're going to see Dylan Moore back to that role and getting consistent playing time. But in the playing time is going to be giving other guys breaks, giving the starters breaks, coming in for that late defensive sub, that stolen base when you need it, that pinch hit, or pinch hit home run ideally, right? But I think that's
Yeah.
the role we're going to see him in, and I know he's going to excel because he's Demo. He's going to make it happen.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I hope they find a way to get him at least somewhat consistent
Mm,
ABs. So we'll see,
I
but
agree.
yeah. But yeah, it's super exciting to see Cole Young up. I
Yeah.
mean, that's I just want to talk about it nonstop.
We can have like a 2 hour episode just on Cole Young's first game. We'll review every pitch that he looked at for the first 2 games. um, but in another way too, we talked about Dylan Moore and how his playing time is going to be affected. Um, Mariners brought up their number 3 guy Cole Young. Harry Ford's been hitting better than Cole Young in the AAA, and he has no spot on the roster. What do the
Yeah.
Mariners? What do you think they're doing with Harry Ford? Is he going to be a call up? Is he going to stay down in AAA all year? He's a year or two older than Cole Young, and he's shown a lot of success.
Right.
I mean, what do you see the Mariners doing with Cole Young in the near future?
You mean Harry Ford in the near future? Yeah.
Yeah, what with Harry Ford in the near future? That's what I meant.
Yeah. No, yeah, we talked about this a little bit the other day off video. I think Harry Ford, you can't bring up a top prospect like Harry Ford and have him be a backup to Cal
hmm
Raleigh. I mean, I think that's just wasting everybody's time, honestly.
That stunts
And
his development more than calling him up way too early.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more beneficial for him to just stay in AAA.
hmm
So, and Cal Raleigh's obviously not going anywhere soon unless an injury happens, but
Oh, please don't say that. No,
yeah,
no.
and I think Mitch Garver is, as much as I hate him, he's fine this year as a backup
Yeah,
catcher. Like you're not gonna have Mitch Garver, Cal, and Harry Ford as catcher. I mean, on the roster. Come
no.
on. So and then going into next year, say we get rid of Mitch Garver. we can sign a backup catcher in free agency
Hmm.
or acquire a veteran or something along those lines.
Like a Tom Murphy type, someone who's seen it out there and can play some solid defense.
Sadly, yes. So, Harry Ford, I think I like Harry Ford a lot, and I would love to see him play for the Mariners. But
Mm.
I think the best option at this point is to trade him. I mean, he's like you mentioned, he's been hitting and playing really well this year. He's a couple years older than Cole Young. He's arguably right on that cusp of,
Mm.
being up or still needing a little more time to develop. But he's right there. So I think on the right team, he could be, you know, ready as a everyday catcher or at least get his shot. So
I agree because
it's
like you said, he's playing too good to not be given a shot. But there's really nowhere to put him on. If you're on a team that
yeah,
if you had like a Blake Hunt as your backup catcher. And you had no one at DH, but we have multiple options for DH. Yeah, sure. Bring up Harry Ford, get Cal Raleigh
yeah,
some more DH days, and give Harry Ford half the days behind the plate. We're not in that
yeah.
scenario right now.
No. See, the thing is, like Cal Raleigh, he's a Platinum Glove catcher just last year. I mean, you're not going to move him straight to DH right after that. I mean,
And
there's
not to mention, he's the best hitter in the league, arguably, right now when it comes to hitting home runs at a
exactly,
position that really is an offensive struggle for a lot of teams.
yeah.
And you
So
just signed him up for a 6 year extension. I mean,
yeah,
in 6 years, Harry Ford is going to be 30. So you
yeah,
can't wait all those years and make him
yeah.
a consistent minor league player. It just
Your
doesn't work
career
that way.
top prospect, career minor leaguer. Yeah. So uh, yeah. I mean, Cal. Yeah, you can't transition him anywhere. Um, Harry Ford, you're not going to bring up a top prospect like that and just have him at DH
Mm,
immediately. I mean, no,
no.
that's not happening. He can't. He's too small to be like first baseman or. I
Yeah.
know there's been talk about him in the outfield, but I don't think he's been playing outfield at all.
Mm. If they were
So
looking at that seriously to get him in the major league, they'd be playing him in AAA
yeah,
that at least for 20 games before even contemplating the idea. I
exactly.
think the most realistic possibility is a midseason trade. I think he won't be on the Mariners team. I think he's going to go to a different organization. I think the
Yeah.
Mariners are going to look to fill their first base or right field hole if Robles or if Victor Robles is not back until truly the end of the year. Maybe they go
Hmm.
out and trade for somebody who can help them now. First baseman like Lau, or I mean, there's so many names out there. O'Hearn, somebody that is going to give them a more consistent bat from the first base position. And with him hitting the way he's hitting right now in AAA, his numbers are going to look really good by the All Star break if he continues to do this. And
Yeah, for sure.
so, I mean, if he can even hit 330 in AAA, I mean, teams are going to look at him like he's ready. Let's go grab him.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. I think the Mariners are using him as or will use him as a deadline trade
Mm-hmm.
piece, and I think a lot of teams will be if he continues at this level of production. A lot of teams are going to be eager. A lot of teams that are not necessarily rebuilding, but maybe not in that playoff push
Mm-hmm.
at that point, or kind of like middle of the road teams are going to want to go after him, and we may be able to get some bats that help us right away rather than a player that's unknown in the MLB. So,
With the way that Polo's been hitting, Tellez, Tavares, I mean, we need to lengthen up the lineup somehow, and first base is your clear position of need for offense. So,
100%.
could you see? So we see obviously the rotations getting healthy. Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock have shown that they can hold their own in the major leagues. With Hancock's ERA is super inflated from one start, but other than that, he's been pitching very solid. Do you think that there's a package out there where you could trade Harry Ford and an Emerson Hancock type for a pretty decent first baseman?
100%, I do. I remember we talked a lot about this at the beginning of the season, like, oh, we should
Mm-hmm.
trade Hancock, um, or our prospects, but no one that wasn't where the market was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that Hancock, I think now that Hancock has had some successful starts this season, I think his value is way up, and I think again um, unless we continue to have injuries, if the rotation is healthy, he has nowhere to go, and he's at that age where it's like he could be a starter on so many other teams. So I think his value's up a lot. And yeah, I think I like him, but I think that would be the best case scenario for the Mariners. I think we need to trade him and trade Harry Ford. But
Would
also,
Would you do a trade to the Tampa Bay Rays for Hancock and Harry Ford to get Yandy Diaz?
he's good, but he's old.
He's old. He's like 33 years old now. I mean, and if you trade away both those young guys, I mean, you're looking at losing two guys who can play for you for the next 5, 6 years.
Yeah, right.
Would you
Uh,
even do it for like uh, I mean, obviously, if Tristan Casas was healthy and playing well, I think that's a pretty fair trade. I know
yeah,
that
yeah.
Guerrero, Harper,
He's
and
not
Freeman,
healthy.
Alonso, Olsen, they're not being touched. You know, Yandy, maybe. I mean, who else is even out there on the first
Yeah,
base
because the
market? There's
Rays
really not that
the
many.
Rays have a couple top prospects at our first baseman,
Yeah,
so that's why Yandy Diaz would be like a easy move for them and
I
makes
mean,
sense.
maybe one of the Laos, either Nathaniel or Brandon Lau. I know the Nationals really aren't in contention right now. The Rays are kind of on that threshold
Yeah,
where they might be looking to do it. I mean, there's a lot of names out there that maybe you can look at, but I mean, truly, how much is that an upgrade at first base to lose two young players with a lot of promise?
yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not. I don't. I Yandy Diaz wouldn't really be too much of an upgrade for that,
Yeah,
you know, uh, to give up. So I mean, it is an upgrade, but I don't know if it's necessarily worth it.
yeah. Because for me, when you look at a trade like that, it's obviously got to work for both sides, and it's got to make sense for whatever your club's looking for. Our club's not in a rebuild by any means, but we're also not, looking to sell.
Yeah,
And this
I
year,
was.
Yandy Diaz is batting 241 with 8 home runs and a .1 WAR. So I mean, he's not even really much better than Telez at this point.
Yeah, honestly. So no, I would definitely not do both of those guys. I don't even think I would do either one, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't do Harry Ford, but maybe Hancock, but also
But then
probably not.
then you lose your depth right there. You have three more guys injured, and what do you do?
Yeah, exactly. So probably not.
Yeah.
Um, well, so they chose to send down Logan Evans
Mhm.
over Hancock. You think it's just because Evans is a couple of years younger, less experienced, that they kept Hancock up, or because what if
I think
Evans is?
that's part of it. I also think that Emerson Hancock, they just feel more confident in giving you the innings. Logan Evans, obviously, what did he do? 8 innings the day before he got sent down.
Yeah,
Um,
one run.
yeah, so I think Emerson Hancock is just they're like, you know what, he's had more experience. We'll keep him up for now. Logan Evans has a bright future with this Mariners rotation. Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot of, I mean, we talked about this multiple times. The Mariners have the most prospects in the top 100 right now in baseball. Finally
hmm
starting to bring them up. Cole Young's just the first of the wave over the next 18 months. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what they do with all these prospects. There's some positions that we can definitely upgrade. There is, definitely a market out there sooner than later, especially with teams such as the Orioles struggling.
Yeah,
I'm
and they
really
have a
excited to
lot of
see what they choose.
offense that we
Yeah.
could go for. So you think Logan Evans is like the untouchable one, and Hancock would be the more willing to part with pitcher?
I'd say so. I mean,
Yeah.
the Mariners have the third overall pick this year in the draft. I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and get one of the top college arms, someone who's a
hmm
year or two out. So that way, once we do lose potentially Kirby, Gilbert, or Castillo, or all three, they have somebody else that they can bring up. I think Logan Evans has a bright future. I really think he can be a
Yeah.
good, 2, 3 guy in a rotation. And I don't know if
Yeah.
Hancock has that high of a ceiling. So maybe they say, hey, Hancock's throwing 98 right now. Let's sell on a high note when we know that Logan Evans probably has a higher ceiling down the line. So,
Yeah.
um,
I agree with that.
man,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We could go on for hours about stuff like this. It just with Cole Young
Yeah.
coming up, hitting hot. Harry Ford is your next guy, and there's just no spot for him. So
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. Something to think about. We'll see what happens. Keep that in your minds.
we'll have to
Some
circle back
options.
near the end of July. I'm sure we'll get more answers then.
Yeah, and I want to hear if anyone has anything to say about Harry Ford, what they think the Mariners should do with him, because it is it's a good topic. So,
It is.
um, yeah, thank you for watching this episode of Talking Tridents, a Mariners podcast. It's been an exciting week and another exciting week ahead for the Mariners. Please like, subscribe, and again, comment down below if you have anything to say about Harry Ford. And yeah, catch you guys next time.